is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Mahomes now on first down. Got a man, that's Allison. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27. They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. To throw, it's Mahomes. Open here is Allison. That's complete. And right away, he lost the football. And it's picked up by the Ravens. And running with power here. And he will not get all the way home, but he will take this back down to about the 2-yard line.
Hey, whatever happened to the days of just getting a fumble recovery? Everyone's...
And now before the ball changes hands, they're going to take a look at this just to make sure that they have it right. So that one overturned. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble. Throwing is Mahomes on 3rd. And that is incomplete. But the pressure there on 3rd down, forcing the errant pass. 4th down coming up. The Bengals bring out their punter now. He'll kick it away after a 3-and-out on the opening drive of the game. And he was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. A 41-yard punt there with no return. And the Ravens, they'll take over. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Oh, he's going to air it out right away. He's got a man complete. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Boy, Charles, this offense is just so explosive. They lead the league in scoring, and another example of just how good they are right there on that play.
Yeah, we often overstate about how explosive teams are, but this team is truly a threat to score on every snap, especially on the first few plays of any series. And a big strike like that only adds to their reputation as the league's best offense.
So the Ravens will keep the offense on the field as they're going to go for 2. They're going to try and run. And he will get in to make it 8-0. Here's the kick unit now for the Ravens as they'll send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Cincinnati coming back onto the field here for their second drive. And on the first drive, 3-and-out. I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
The numbers for him from a week ago: 15 carries and even 60 yards and a touchdown.
And they've already clinched a playoff berth, so I'm eager to see how they approach this game, because some teams' philosophy is to go ahead and get guys out. Other teams' philosophy, continue to do what you're doing best. I expect them to go ahead and use their top guys all the way through this one.
It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now 3rd down coming up. So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. Now here's Mahomes. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football, and it's picked up by the Ravens. And this is going to be brought back for a Baltimore touchdown. So the big fella gets on the scoreboard with a return for a touchdown. Good thing he didn't have to go too far, though.
You know the trainers were very happy about that. Imagine having to go get him in the end zone, escort him to the bench, and give him the oxygen. They were loving the fact that he got in without having to run very far.
Extra point right down the middle. And the lead is up to 15 now. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Ready to go on offense. Out come the Bengals. Not only are they in search of their first score, they're in search of their first down in this ball game as they come up 1st and 10. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. Counting down toward the midway point in quarter one. On 2nd and 12, Mahomes nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And fortunately, he's able to reel it back in, but it's going to go down as a big loss here on the play. So possession still theirs, but now they face a 3rd down. Here's Mahomes to throw. Being chased at Mahomes hit. He lost the football. And it's picked up by the Ravens. And this is going to be brought back for a Baltimore touchdown. Well, Charles, not only did they fumble the football, but they're starting to fumble away their chances here a little bit. We've got a 3-score ball game now here in the first half.
And the last thing you want to do, partner, is help the other team with what are avoidable turnovers. You want to hang on to the football because you're already playing against a good team. You're just making it easier for them by giving them extra opportunities.
And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here because now you're down 3 scores, and I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they... Oh, you saw that one coming. It's intercepted, thrown back across his body. And he will bring this back. It's a pick 6 and a Raven touchdown. Charles, it is pretty rare that we see a team build this kind of lead in the opening quarter. And, man, they seem to be clicking on all 3 phases right there. The defense doing its part with a pick 6.
And it's absolutely been the definition of a start that you would pick for yourself and for your team, right? And I have a feeling that they just want to stay in this zone. What's truly incredible about this start is they can add on a couple more scores. This one could legitimately be over in the second quarter.
Point after, right down the middle. And the route is on here in this first half. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And now this offense comes back out onto the field. They're still in search of an initial first down as they come up here 1st and 10.
Hey, 43, 15.
Now Mahomes to try again after the pick 6. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Points 1, 2, and 3 in their defensive game plan was to get to the quarterback and knock the ball free. They did it there. Luckily, offense hangs on to it.
Yeah, that's got to serve as a wake-up call, though, because they can't afford to let the ball go over to the defense and miss opportunities. And I'm not saying it happened here, but you know what a good rule of thumb is when a play like that occurs? You know who usually recovers it? The guy who missed his block and let his quarterback get hit.
Flag comes in. This might be a free play. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down. Well, we looked at each other right when he flinched. We knew that that flag was coming.
Yeah, offsides, easy call, mark off the 5, and keep it moving.
And the penalty, a big assist to this offense. Now it's 3rd and 3. Mahomes going to throw. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Well, it certainly appears that they're going to try and keep getting him the football. That's the 3rd time they've looked in his direction. Unfortunately, haven't completed one yet, but I'm not sure they're going to shy away from him. They feel like they've got something there, and they want to capitalize on it.
I think you're right. We're only in the first quarter, so a lot of opportunities ahead. Good blocking there, nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. Well, partner, you know, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the case. One play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success here.
And it's rare for those moments to happen. Incredible when they do. And you saw the celebration. Pure, unbridled joy after that one.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. He'll let one go deep for Howard. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. Now a timeout called for by the offense. And that's their second charge timeout here in this first quarter. They're down to 1 remaining. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Boy, CD, what a start for them. Still in the first quarter. They're absolutely blitzing them. All the points that they've put up, I'm not sure what you say on the other sideline right now.
I think it's as simple as this, partner. The way that they're playing, there's no limits on what this lead could become.
They'll try and run it here. And they are 3 for 3 on 2-point conversions as he is into the end zone for the score. Here's the kick unit now for the Ravens as they'll send this one away. This will be fielded inside the 5. And a nice job there on special teams to limit him to inside the 15 as he's dropped at the 14. And the Bengals offense getting set and ready to go again here. They've got to be absolutely reeling right now. Couldn't have expected to be down this big this early. But that's the spot there. Mahomes hit. He lost the football. And this is going to be brought back for a Baltimore touchdown. Well, Charles, I mean, things just seem to be getting worse and worse for one sideline. Or flip it over after that fumble return for a touchdown. Better and better on the opposite end. What an impressive first-half performance.
And, partner, I know the saying in the NFL goes that no lead is safe. But I will say that this one seems pretty secure. And if we continue to see plays like that, I'm going to switch back and say this lead is safe.
So here's the kickoff now as he'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here. They find themselves in a good-sized hole here, and a good-sized hole early on in this game as they come up on first down. Now Mahomes. And that'll be incomplete. So, CD, this defense, they know that they have to be at their very best when they're taking on a team here that's in the midst of a winning streak that's now stretched over multiple months, not weeks, months.
I think
nowhere to go here. He lost the football. An entertaining start to this one. More to come on EA Sports. Ready for the second quarter from Cincinnati. It's the Bengals with the football here as they've got it with a 3rd down and long coming up. Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete. The Bengals bring out their punter now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And now a fair catch called for and taken just outside the 40-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. It has been about as perfect of a start to this game as these guys could have asked for, Charles. They've scored on their first 2 drives. They still haven't given anything up. That's caught at the 25. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. It's their quarterback with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Ravens are able to widen their lead here in this first half. Week after week, Charles, when we see this offense operate, I don't know, they just seem to get more impressive.
They certainly do, and let's face it, it's no surprise they're the best in the NFL in scoring. This team designs things well and executes even better. And here, it only takes a few snaps before they're in the end zone. That's how they demoralize teams. That's how they put them on notice.
Here's the kick unit now for the Ravens as they'll send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Bengals set to take over. And last drive, 3 and out. Still a goose egg on the scoreboard. How do they break that goose egg?
They've got to find a way to get the ball in the hands of their playmakers, get them some space, and try and make a first down and get some momentum going. It's been a struggle.
Mahomes hit. He lost the football. And fortunately for him, he's able to get it back, but it will be a loss on the play. Fortunately for him, that ball stayed close so that he could recover it on his own.
And you know the prayers that were going through his head as the ball escaped from him? How happy was he at the end of it when he found the football again, able to retain possession?
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. The offense on 3rd down tonight, a pretty woeful 0 for 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 17. Dan, nowhere to go here. He lost the football, and it's picked up by the Ravens. And this is going to be brought back for a Baltimore touchdown. So the big fella gets on the scoreboard with a return for a touchdown. Good thing he didn't have to go too far, though.
You know the trainers were very happy about that. Imagine having to go get him in the end zone, escort him to the bench, and give him the oxygen. They were loving the fact that he got in without having to run very far.
And now the Ravens calling the offense onto the field here as they're going to go for 2. They're going to keep it on the ground. And he will not make it to the goal line as this try for 2 is going to come up empty. But that's little consolation to this defense as they have been porous all game long. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there, grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. And that one carries out of the side of the end zone here, so it's a touchback and bring it out to the 25. Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. And they have done themselves absolutely no favors to earn a win today in this one, Charles. The turnover woes continue. On that last drive, they had that fumble that led to a touchdown.
And Brandon, I would say they have a mission on this drive, and the bottom line is protect the football. Just put together something that they can let the last drive go. Yeah, it was a bad play. They gave up points. That doesn't mean it has to go that way the rest of this ball game.
No, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. And the Ravens are going to take possession of the football.
And that's what we've seen from this defense all year long, because they've been so good at finding ways to take the football away. And they just gave us another example right here. A strong defense, that's something you're going to need to rely on come playoff time. And this crew has got one. There's no doubt about that, Brandon.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. A great effort there. On his way to a monster game, 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Ravens are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. So the Ravens will keep the offense on the field as they're going to go for 2. They're going to try and run. And they are just not going to let up as he is into the end zone here for 2 more. Needed a couple yards for the 2-point try. They go to the ground game, and it works.
And sometimes it's the exact right thing to do, because a lot of teams play you for the pass. So you spread people out, decide to run the football. You often find good running lanes.
Here's the kick unit now for the Ravens as they'll send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the inline. Patrick Mahomes in the offense heading back out. He's been picked off twice in this ball game already, and he'll try to sort things out here as they begin with a first down.
Yellow.
They'll start this drive out on the ground. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it. They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Looking to throw is Mahomes. A quick throw knocked away and incomplete.
Quarterbacks work all the time on manipulating a defense with their eyes and their head movement. In this case, he just stared the receiver down. That allowed for excellent coverage, able to knock down.
Mahomes hit. He lost the football. Offensively lucky they're able to keep the football, but now 4th down, so they'll have to boot it away.
I do think, though, they're going to look at this as a positive. 1, they recovered the fumble, so they retained possession. But 2, being able to punt it changes field position for them. Imagine if that turnover takes place there. Now your defense has to go onto the field and try and hold. Instead, they get a little breathing room.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. He's got a man complete. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown.
Okay, we need to double check here with Marvin because he keeps all of our good stats. But what I've got is 5 drives, 5 touchdowns, and they've got a nice, healthy lead.
Well, after the first drive, we thought things might be clicking. They're really clicking at this point. They're clicking about as much as they can click.
And right
I just said click a lot.
Yes, you did, but that's okay because the guy who's coordinating the defense, trying to slow them down,
good luck.
He's going to have hair that looks like mine very soon. Not much of it.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Now this Bengals offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled-out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do hit?
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. A reminder that coming up in 2 minutes' time, we'll check in with Jonathan Coachman from Orlando. He'll have highlights and analysis of this first half of play. On 2nd and a long way to go. Mahomes. And his throw is incomplete.
And this drive is almost over before it began thanks to a great defensive effort. Sack on first down, followed by an incompletion. One more good rep, and they get off the field.
On 3rd down, Allison. And not even back to the line of scrimmage this time as they're on him quickly once more. The Bengals bring out their punter now as he'll come on for his 5th kick of the night. And he's able to get it out of there. And a fair catch is taken here a step or 2 inside the 45-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. And they will take over 1st and 10. So good starting field position. Here as they come up 1st and 10 at the 45. Back to throw here. He's going to wind up and air it out. He's got a man complete. And in for the Ravens touchdown. A big play there. 55 yards. And the Ravens are pouring it on. Extra point forthcoming. And he's been a busy man. 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. Those are the kind of drives they like on offense, from the coordinator to the quarterback, the line, everybody. One play drive and into the end zone for 6. Here's the kick unit now for the Ravens as they'll send this one away. This one fielded at the 5. And they're going to start in a hole as he's brought down at the 11. Cincinnati set to take over once again. And Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing. Mahomes hit. He lost the football. And it's picked up by the Ravens. And a costly turnover there as the ball will be spotted first and goal at the 5-yard line.
Well, partner, they went empty set there. No backs in the backfield. All receivers out in the pattern. And in this situation, you know what the quarterback has to do? Act as his own blitz control.
Yeah, he's got no... And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. A great play there. On his way to a historic performance, 4 first-half touchdowns. And the Ravens will extend their lead in the final minute of the half. Now the try here for the point after. And the route is on here in this first half. Well, they got the ball in great field position. One play later, boom, end zone. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. A fairly short kick from the 14. And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20, call it the 21. The Bengals going to take over late in this first half. Well, things for them, just to put it bluntly, man, it has been tough sledding here in the first half, facing that big deficit. The clock is dwindling now. Maybe if they can get something on the board here before intermission, they'll have at least a little momentum heading into the second half. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Throwing again on second down, but this time it's incomplete. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on third down. They'll try the left side. Allison, and they will bottle him up behind the line, and now will they use a timeout? Now the defense will burn their 3rd and final timeout, as the clock will stop with 33 seconds to go in the first half. The Bengals bring out their punter now, standing right on his own 5-yard line. Fair catch signaled for and taken just shy of the 30-yard line. The Ravens going to get one more drive here in this first half. And with a huge lead already, they may be thinking, hey, our job's complete for these first 2 quarters. Let's get this to the locker room. He'll let one go deep for Howard. And that is caught at the 10-yard line. Touchdown.
That score that they just gave up there, that's a tough one for their defense to swallow because they've had a tough time through the first 2 quarters. They really were determined to get a stop there. Unable to do so. That makes their comeback hopes that much more difficult.
Extra point splits the uprights, and the route is on here in this first half. They certainly made quick work of that, ultra quick work. One of the fastest drives you'll ever see, just one play resulting in the touchdown. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. And a short kick taken at about the 16. And he'll get it up just past the 20 as his guys will go to work at the 21-yard line. Now the Bengal offense going to see the ball one more time in this first half. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
So we've reached halftime here on New Year's Eve as we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. We'll get back to you and Charles in a minute. But first, time to give the folks at home a look at what's going on around the NFL. Next, we head off to check out another game. And you can see they are scoreless as they play the second quarter. Lastly, let's check on one final game for you. And you can see they are scoreless as they play the second quarter. Next, a look at the next-gen stats in that first half for the Ravens. And our statisticians got through a couple of pencils already. This offense is on pace for potentially 500 yards in passing. That's pretty incredible. Meanwhile, for the Bengals, they were on the other end of the spectrum in terms of passing efficiency. That's going to need to improve in the second half to come. Final adjustments being made for the second half. Whether they'll amount to much in a game that's already pretty well decided, well, that's another question. Nevertheless, let's get you back out to Brandon and Charles.
Okay, Coach, thanks. Yeah, that's something to consider. Are we in for more one-way traffic here in the second half? It has not been a competitive game to this point. Taking it about the 1. Now a crease here as he's past the 30. The 40. Past the 20. He will take this all the way. Touchdown, Ravens. Well, they're just having fun. I mean, they are clicking on every single cylinder, offense, defense, and here, special teams.
And how about the extension of the lead? This one felt a lot like, you remember Seattle-Denver Super Bowl 48? Percy Harvin to start the second half. Seattle was already firmly in control. Now, they feel like they can't be caught.
Yeah, they are firmly in control right now. Point after try forthcoming. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. Well, we talk a lot about explosive plays on offense. How about an explosive play on special teams? Certainly one there on the kick return for a touchdown. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. So here are the Bengals now as they get their first possession of this second half. They'll start on the ground here on first down. And they're able to swarm him behind the line, and his rough night continues. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Mahomes now to throw. And his throw here's incomplete.
Well, he's smart enough to avoid the taunting rule, but I'll guarantee he quietly has told them, you might want to stop coming after me downfield because I just broke up another pass and took away a big shot.
Mahomes hit. He lost the football, and it's picked up by the Ravens. And this is going to be brought back for a Baltimore touchdown. So the big fella gets on the scoreboard with a return for a touchdown. Good thing he didn't have to go too far, though.
You know the trainers were very happy about that. Imagine having to go get him in the end zone, escort him to the bench, and give him the oxygen. They were loving the fact that he got in without having to run very far.
They'll try and run it here. And, boy, talk about adding insult to injury. He's into the end zone to tack on 2 more.
Personally, I'd rather see him kick the extra point there than to go for 2, but it almost feels like there's a story within the story here. I mean, this isn't college. You know, size of victory, that matters in those games. Here, all you have to do is win by 1 point. That's all that you need. Instead, they go for it, get 2. You got some pretty ticked off folks on the other sideline now.
Cincinnati's offense coming back here onto the field. Well, we're still in the third quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable now. A win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles, but nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
Much like a running back going through the line, quarterbacks have to be aware of protecting the football as well. He left it exposed that time, wound up having it knocked free, but fortunately, had an alert teammate who was able to get it.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
Well, partner, they've certainly played up to their top 10 defensive ranking this week. They've stifled this opposing offense throughout this game. This contest is now lopsided because of their efforts, and there's still a quarter to go.
And now the third down throw incomplete as well.
And there's another stop. One of the league's best defenses is certainly bringing it again this week.
The Bengals bring out their punter now as he's on to kick it away. And a fair catch taken back near about the 35, 36-yard line. It'll be a 39-yard punt, no return. Now the Baltimore offense heading back. Field. Charles, this offense, they've been on a roll. 2 drives ago they scored. Remember, last drive was that one-play touchdown strike, so now they're looking to make it 3 for 3.
You know, I talked to a Hall of Famer one time about, hey, when you're on defense and these types of things.
That's caught inside the 20. And in for the Ravens touchdown. A great effort there. With his 28th touchdown, drawing level with Shaun Alexander for the 2nd most in a single year. And the Ravens get another third-quarter touchdown to add on to that lead. Extra point attempt to follow here. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. Well, the offense wasn't out there for a long time, but they were out there for a good time. One play, and they're able to hit pay dirt. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And not a great return here. He'll make it back only to the 10-yard line. And out now, here come the Bengals. Well, this has been a tough one for them, Charles. They've struggled really on both sides of the football. And one thing that's really plagued them, the turnovers. They've had issues keeping the football in their possession.
And every game that's ever been played, all coaches talk.
And he coughs up the football near his own goal line. Dangerous spot for them to cough it up. Lucky to have recovered, because had the defense gotten it, they were already within a shadow of the goalpost.
Yeah, and then you're yelling at your own defense. Sudden change, sudden change.
In trouble, and the ball's out. It's in the end zone loose. And this will be scooped up in the end zone. The defender gets there, and it's a touchdown. That's something you have to be wary of on your side of the field, that close to the goal line. The defense, they're looking for that football. They got it. They scored it.
You are so right, and the quarterback has to speed things up himself. So close to the goal line, they're going to get after you. Make sure you get rid of the football and in a safe place.
Extra point right down the middle, and the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. So here's the kickoff now, as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Bengal offense now gets set to head back out onto the field. Well, the disparity in this game, it just seems to grow with each possession here, Charles. They are really struggling. They have not put up a... Mahomes hit. He lost the football. And it's picked up by the Ravens. And this is going to be brought back for a Baltimore touchdown. So the big fella gets on the scoreboard with a return for a touchdown. Good thing he didn't have to go too far, though.
You know the trainers were very happy about that. Imagine having to go get him in the end zone, escort him to the bench, and give him the oxygen. They were loving the fact that he got in without having to run very far.
So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way. The fumble return for a touchdown. And you can bet they're preaching two hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Bengals getting set to go. Well, it's a game that they would rather probably forget about, at least to this point, Charles. And one reason is turnovers. A turnover on the last drive. They had the issue in the first half as well, and that's really, unfortunately for them, helped to put this game out of reach.
And you know they won't want to admit it to themselves, but we know that winning the game is pretty much out of the picture now. So their bottom line is, how do they play a clean game the rest of this one, right? Take care of the football, no more turnovers, and see how that works.
On 2nd and 12, Mahomes, and this is going to be incomplete.
I'm getting the sense that this offense is getting frustrated. Here we are into the third quarter, and they've had plenty of opportunities to get in sync. Thus far, that hasn't happened. They're looking for
nowhere to go here. He lost the football, and it's picked up by the Ravens. And this is going to be brought back for a Baltimore touchdown. Isabella gets on the scoreboard with a return for a touchdown. Good thing he didn't have to go too far, though.
You know the trainers were very happy about that. Imagine having to go get him in the end zone, escort him to the bench, and give him the oxygen. They were loving the fact that he got in without having to run very far.
Point after, right down the middle. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. So now the Bengal offensive unit back out onto the field. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, when we were having a tough patch, this too shall pass, this too shall pass, and finally we kept having a rough patch. He said, but you got to do something to make it pass, and that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here. They'll wind up losing 3, and now it's third down. And not an easy spot here. They'll be in search of 13 yards to try to pick up the first. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Steps away to it, and he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. And the defense coming through on 3rd down. A loss of 7 to bring up 4th.
It's been a tough one all game long for this offensive line. They're already down big, and now you know they're just going to come after the quarterback in a big way, don't you?
Yeah, they just can't get out of their own way right now. It's created an avalanche, and an avalanche is coming right on top of them. So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. He'll take it at the 42. Nearly a huge return as it is. Still a very good one. 24 yards. And the Ravens set up well to begin their drive as it'll begin in enemy territory already. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. He'll look to throw. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Their mobile, agile quarterback, 34 yards. Boy, another score. This lead gets even bigger. And, Charles, we haven't even hit the 4th quarter yet.
Well, forget the deficit, right? They're really not going to cut into that a heck of a lot. But how can they get out of here with some dignity? Can they get a stop or two? Can they make a play on offense themselves? Anything that's better about what's happened to them here in this one.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Bengals offense returns to the field. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
And Mahomes misfires again, and it's intercepted. And the Ravens are going to take possession of the football. If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
He's seeing the ball so well and understanding where receivers are and positioning. I mean, just watching him work with such great technique and paying it off by actually catching the ball when he has a chance.
And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. How about that? Their quarterback, 35 yards. And the Ravens will add on to their lead here in the final minute of the 3rd. A familiar refrain, a turnover leads to a touchdown, and that lead grows even wider now here in this 3rd quarter.
Yeah, partner, I'd say there are a lot of grins breaking out on that sideline because, let's face it, they came in thinking they were in for a real fight in this game, but this one's been about as one-sided as we've seen in a while. In addition, if you're a backup, time to start stretching and loosening up. You may get some playing time in this one.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Ready to go on offense. Out come the Bengals. And really, Charles, not much of a surprise that they're losing. They just haven't been able to get much of anything going in the pass game. And as you well know, in today's NFL, if the passing game isn't working, usually not much else is working either.
Exactly right about that, partner. And
Mahomes hit. He lost the football. And it's picked up by the Ravens. And this is going to be brought back for a Baltimore touchdown. And give some kudos to the defensive coordinator, I think, here. They bring the blitz, they dial it up, and it turns into 6 points for them.
It's so nice to hear you actually give kudos to the defense. It is so nice. You're such an offensive guy like that. I love it. He dialed things up, and boy, a big play resulted for his guys.
Well, you like the credit to the defense there, right, my friend?
Yeah, do I ever?
And you can bet they're preaching two hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. They'll keep it on the ground. Allison, and forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. One quarter remains here on a Sunday night. Back now in Cincinnati. A 3rd down now, and those last two plays indicative of how things have gone for them. Just nowhere to go on the ground and struggling to put up points. Buying time to his left. And that will be incomplete. The Bengals bring out their punter now, as he'll come on to kick this one away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. The Ravens offense now, they get set and head back onto the field. We find ourselves here in the midst of a one-sided affair. A lot of fill time down the stretch, Mr. Davis.
So we could talk about food because that is something that you and I both enjoy.
Now the defense loses him. It's complete. Touchdown. A big play there with his 2nd touchdown of the night. And the Ravens are closing in on that 16-0 record as they add on to their lead. Extra point splits the uprights, and this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Bengals offense now, they head back onto the field. And after all those wins that they've reeled off, it seems that they finally have met their match in a big 4th quarter hole. But still, what a run it's been. It feels like they have not lost in forever. And his throw's going to be incomplete. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Shotgun snap to Mahomes. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And it's picked up by the Ravens. Then they will set up shop, red zone territory at the 13-yard line.
Well, partner, I think it's safe to say they can mark this down as extremely frustrating. Here we are in the fourth quarter, and that last play, that turnover, I think it epitomizes what happened to them all day on offense.
So symbolic, and that's why they're still. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. A 13-yard touchdown run. And the Ravens continue to pour it on here in the fourth. When coaches come into a game preaching total team effort, CD, I think this is the type of ball game that they're dreaming of. It was pretty apparent early on that they were clicking in all three phases. It's been fun to watch.
Yeah, sometimes in the NFL you end up with matchups like we've been watching here. And when you go back to the early drives, you can just see that one squad was on a different level in this game. Safe to say, we haven't been disappointed in watching their execution throughout this contest.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And now this offense comes back out onto the field. Well, it's been a struggle so far for this offense, Charles. It's not only that they haven't been able to put the points up, but really stringing yards together has been a real issue for them in this one.
I'm so glad you brought up the yardage because I was thinking to myself, we've seen a lot of NFL games and we've seen our share of lopsided contests, but in almost all of them, both offenses have put up at least 200 yards in a game, but not in this one. This has been a display of offense that, frankly, I think the two of us have watched from behind our hands, trying to spread our fingers wide enough to actually see the result.
From the gun on third down, Mahomes. And that is incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. The Ravens up back out there. And, Charles, we are in the midst of a very one-sided affair. I think this is where you and I have to fill a little bit. You want to regale us with old stories of your childhood in New Paltz, New York?
I don't think anyone wants to hear that, but this is a perfect time.
Got a man. It's caught inside the 10. And in for the Ravens touchdown. Well, Charles, just impressive in all three phases. Offense, defense, special teams have really done their job. And here the offense doing its part yet again with another score in the fourth quarter.
I know it seems like something we shouldn't do because the scoreboard does tell it all. But let's set it aside for a moment. This game was absolutely memorable with how they played it. Really terrific effort, really well executed. Congratulations to them.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Fielded just outside the goal line. And a nice job there on special teams to limit him to inside the 15 as he's dropped it to 14.
Yellow.
On 1st and 10, here's Mahomes. His throw incomplete. These two teams, they met up earlier in the year back in week 2. And it was the visitors getting the win there, so they'll be looking for the sweep back here at home. Mahomes will try again on 2nd down. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
Well, a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration, the body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
Baltimore about ready to go on offense. Well, they don't really need the points here, Charles, given what we're looking at on the scoreboard, but they've scored on 3 consecutive possessions, 3 consecutive drives, and I'm sure that they would like to keep that streak going here and continuing to pour it on.
And things have gotten that way in the NFL, haven't they, partner? Because in the old days, people would, they'd get off the gas a little bit, right? But now, people continue to accelerate. But we'll see what they decide to do as they come out for this one. But the way this game has gone, they've got to be awfully happy with their execution overall.
Extra point right down the middle. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here.
Well, I hate to say it, but at this point, I don't really know that they're playing to win with this deficit in the fourth quarter. They're just trying to erase that 0 on the scoreboard, Charles, and get some type of momentum to carry into the film section tomorrow.
If you get any type of points on the board, it'll count as a moral victory, although no one will talk about that in the post-game press conference. That's not something you mentioned in the NFL. And this loss, it already stings and will for a while, but everyone on that offense knows it'll sting a lot worse if they don't put some points up on the board.
And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he's going to be stopped here a few yards short of the first as the tackle is made at the 33. The Bengals bring out their punter now as he's on here to punt it away. And a fair catch called for and made just outside the 15-yard line. The Ravens offense now, they get set to head back on the field.
They've got to be feeling very comfortable and confident here with this lead in the football here in the fourth quarter, Charles. And I don't think that they need to score again, but it seems like this offense is just getting better as the game goes on. They've scored on their last 2 drives.
Certainly feels like a chance for them to continue to have some fun out there, doesn't it? Game's already decided, as you noted.
He's got a man complete. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
Another touchdown here in the fourth quarter, and Charles, I think we can start to consider that this undefeated streak of theirs is going to be safe for another week.
And partner, you don't make it this far into a season without a loss unless you're getting contributions from both sides of the ball and sometimes even your special teams, and that's been true today. Each side helping guide them to this late lead.
They'll try and run it up the middle. And they are just not going to let up as he is into the end zone here for 2 more. Here's the kick unit now for the Ravens as they'll send this one away. And from back there, a wise move. He'll just sit on this one, and it'll come out to the 25.
But the Bengals offense getting set and ready to go again here.
And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And, okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
Mahomes hit. He lost the football, and it's picked up by the Ravens. And this is going to be brought back for a Baltimore touchdown. So the big fella gets on the scoreboard with a return for a touchdown. Good thing he didn't have to go too far, though.
You know the trainers were very happy about that. Imagine having to go get him in the end zone, escort him to the bench, and give him the oxygen. They were loving the fact that he got in without having to run very far.
So here's the kickoff now as he'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. At this point, partner, things looking pretty bleak. They still haven't scored here in the fourth quarter, facing the big deficit. What silver linings, what can they look to do here offensively?
You know, it's funny, I talked about this with a coach in the offseason and kind of had this scenario, like what feels good to you and what feels good to your team. You're down big. You really have like 1 possession left, and you're trying to put points on the board that don't matter. But do they? And he told me they actually do matter. And in this situation, he's going to try and run the best offense he can run to have at least a little bit of confidence to take away from that game. So right now, they're going to try their best to get something up on the board and not get shut out.
So the Bengals in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. Throwing on first down is Mahomes. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And it's picked up by the Ravens. And that might just cement it. A return for a late touchdown. And Charles, look at the big fella. What a rumble that was. Not only to scoop it, but then take it the rest of the way for the touchdown.
And now you know they're going to have to hear about it from now on. The defensive backs, he's going to want to run with